Thanks, Mary Beth. It's so good to be able to be here. Good afternoon. It's an honor to be with each of you. As I was driving in today, I realized that my first business summit was in 1986. And I've worked with so many of you over the years, off and on over the years. But I'm visiting you today in a completely different capacity, as you know. I'm here to seek your support as I run for governor of the state of West Virginia. I'm here to talk about how we can together transform our state and our communities. I'm reminded of a saying that always resonated with me. If you want to know what someone is going to do, look at what they've done. My journey began right here in southern West Virginia. I was born in Bluefield, grew up in Athens, West Virginia, was educated in the Mercer County and Cabell County schools. After receiving a scholarship to play football at Marshall on the Young Thundering Herd, I earned my degree with honors and then went on, Dr. Gee, on up to WVU and got my master's in public administration. As you see, I am a West Virginian through and through. Blue and gold and green. My love for this state runs deep, and it's been the driving force behind everything that I've done. During my career, I've built economic development programs in the public sector. In private enterprise, I've held senior executive positions in an investment bank and as a retail investment brokerage principal. In the meantime, I was elected to 4 terms in the West Virginia House of Delegates and rose to the position of chair of the Banking Committee, and I also chaired the Higher Education Subcommittee in House Ed. After I left the legislature, I developed a successful career that took me to Chicago. I was in Chicago for 6 years. I was working with one of the largest banks in the nation. I was brought to Chicago to lead the bank's investment retail market, that entire market. This boy from Athens, West Virginia, now running that one big market. And know what I ended up finding? My experience taught me that a son of Appalachia could compete with anybody in the world. No matter how worldly or sophisticated they might be, we could stand shoulder to shoulder, toe to toe with them. And I learned that I could swim in the deep waters and thrive. Much of what I experienced and I learned in my 6 years in Chicago serves me to this very day. When I returned to Huntington, I helped our good friend Evan Jenkins when he had decided that he was going to run for a seat in the West Virginia State Senate. That experience led me back to elected service. I reintroduced myself to my community after 14 years being away. Introduced myself back to the community, ran for city council, and won. And 4 years later, I decided I needed to run for mayor because the problems facing my city required someone with my leadership skills and credentials to lead us out of our troubles. My mission was very simple: to transform my city and surrounding region to a path towards prosperity. And you notice I didn't say my city alone. The only way that we move forward is if we reach out and we draw everyone else in. I was elected mayor, and I'm proud to say that I have served for an unprecedented 3 terms in Huntington. When I took over, Huntington was in sharp decline. Essential services were being cut. The city was running 4 to 6 months behind in paying its bills. Our pension funds and health care benefits were on the verge of failure. The city faced the threat of bankruptcy. We were at a crossroads. We grew to live by a mantra: make no little plans. Make no little plans. So we set our sights high. so high that we began to dream dreams so big that they make us hyperventilate. Eventually, people started buying into our vision of unbridled exceptionalism. We experienced a turnaround in our fortunes that other cities and local governments around the nation to this day visit us to explore and analyze our strategic approach. I worked alongside a brilliant, dedicated team to fix these problems, and today I'm proud to say that Huntington is experiencing a renaissance. Most significantly, we've lowered the crime rate, particularly violent crime, and we're the only market of the large metro markets in West Virginia that has increased its current employment level above pre-COVID levels. Huntington has been transformed from being known as the epicenter of the opioid epidemic to being the epicenter of the solution to the opioid epidemic. Huntington and its citizens now very proudly proclaim and embrace the moniker of America's best community, city of solutions. More recently, and I think of all of these, and probably the proudest of them, more recently listed by Wallet Hub, Huntington was listed as the 17th best run city in the nation, ahead of such cities as Baton Rouge, Louisville, Columbia, South Carolina, Boston, Columbus, Austin, Texas, and other much, much larger cities. And Huntington was also listed by U.S. News as the 48th best place to retire. In fact, we've cut taxes, including eliminating the B&O tax on manufacturing and on retail businesses. And we also cut in half service business B&O taxes. All of this was done to encourage businesses to choose location in our downtown area and in our industrial areas. By being strategic in our tax reductions, we've managed to attract additional business to our city. But aside from that, what we've been able to do is that we've been able to increase our revenue by over 33%. Cut taxes, raised revenue. Hell, I'm starting to sound like Reagan. I believe free markets, limited government, fiscal responsibility, the rule of law, and individual freedom are the building blocks for an entrepreneurial culture. An entrepreneurial culture brings prosperity and assures success in a competitive marketplace. I learned in my business pursuits that I would never establish market dominance by speaking negative about my competition. I came to understand the most effective way to make my light the brightest in the room was not by shooting out the other lights, but by making my light shine brightest by increasing the wattage. We will not build up our state by diminishing the lights of our competition. I believe in building up, not tearing down. Shining brighter by being brighter. I've built economic development programs. I've been an investment banker. I've been an investment brokerage executive. I've been a legislator, and now I'm a 3-term mayor of my hometown. Each of these roles has prepared me to lead our state towards a bright future. We must be determined to outshine our competition. Our competition are not our neighboring states. Our competition is the global marketplace. We have the capacity to set the market on innovation and to set standards that the rest of the world would seek to follow. We must believe that we can accomplish anything we set our minds to pursue. Communication, cooperation, collaboration, establish trust to build partnerships. These tactics together create hope. When I meet with Fortune 100 and Fortune 500 executives, the conversation often boils down to three things. They want a fair tax rate, a trained and educated workforce, and predictability. They don't want to be bogged down by social issues that political parties use to burnish their credentials, whether on the right or the left. We need a governor who can assure a stable and welcoming environment for businesses to thrive. As your next governor, I will deliver just that. I will set standards. I will set standards that no governor has sought to achieve. We have a challenge that no other state in the nation has. And they're not seeking to address. We rank at the bottom of nearly every meaningful measurement. Michelangelo is quoted as saying, "The greater danger for most of us is not that we set our goals too high and fall short, but we set our aim too low and achieve the mark." Ladies and gentlemen, we have to boost our expectations of ourselves and set standards that the rest of the nation seeks to emulate. We should expect platinum standards in innovation, economic development, health outcomes, infrastructure development, education attainment, and prosperity measures to lead the nation. We must create a platinum standard of care for women's health and become a haven for women's health and reproductive freedom. When we say mountaineers are always free, we need to make blessed certain that that means mountaineer women too. We will endeavor to be a top quintile state, becoming a top 5 state in all areas. We have that capacity. We must have that determination. I will focus on creating a business climate that fosters innovation and growth while also ensuring and assuring that every West Virginian has the opportunity to succeed. We have the potential to be a state where businesses flourish, families prosper, and our communities thrive. But to get there, we need leadership that understands the challenges we face and has taken a proven track record of turning challenges into opportunities. During the last 12 years, I've come to understand that being a small city, and for that matter, a small state in America, works to our advantage. We can identify quicker what works, sooner what doesn't, and faster how to fix it. That's our secret sauce. I've done it in Huntington, and I'm ready to do it for the state of West Virginia. Together, we can build a West Virginia that pauses for everyone, that works for everyone. Now, let me address one big old elephant in the room. I know many of you are concerned about the letter that I have after my name. Frankly, I've never been concerned about whether someone had an R or a D or an I or whatever else they could come up with. I'm only interested in results. I play with whomever is on the field. I could care less about party affiliation. The 2 letters I do have after my name are all that matters. WV. I'm a West Virginian. I'm a son of Appalachia. I was born here. I was educated here. I built my career here. I met my wife here. My family is from here, and I will die here. I'm seeking to build a state with an economic environment and ecosystem that enables growth, builds prosperity, and fosters innovation, and assures the freedom to accomplish our aspirations without government mandate, but with government partnership. We need all hands on deck, not just hands of the proper political party, gender, race, or any other designation. All hands on deck. And if any of this runs contrary to your sensibilities, you have no business voting for me. If your idea of a successful governor means that he or she must be a party partisan, I'm just not your guy. I'm a West Virginian, and my only ambition is to serve our state and to do all that I can to transform our state. If what I'm saying sounds reasonable and hopeful, then keep listening and consider joining my team and begin to set standards that the nation will be seeking to follow. I want to build a swagger in our people. I want our residents to speak with pride. Stand tall. Square your shoulders when they say that they're from West Virginia. And when we hear or someone say or ask us the question, who in the world would have ever dreamed that this level of success could come from West Virginia? We all would step back and smile and say, we did. Get accustomed by saying 5 words. Remember 5 words if you don't remember anything else that I've said. West Virginians lead the way. West Virginians lead the way. Join our movement. Join us as we dream dreams so big they make us hyperventilate. Join us as we make no little plans. Together we will set standards that the nation will seek to follow. Go to my website, stevewilliamswv.com. Read what we're doing. Join our movement. Together, we will transform the next 50 years. Thank you and God bless.